And I knew Gervonta was going to come for him, and sure enough, that's what he did. Walked right towards him from round one on. But, you know, I remember what he said, and it really, really struck me. Gervonta's a smart dude, bro, and he said you really, really should have waited.
What does the rematch look like between Lamont and Gervonta, you think?
I like Lamont in the rematch.
Yeah. You were one of the few that kind of picked Lamont to begin with. Why was that?
I sparred with Lamont. I knew that he was a good fighter.
I think he shocks the world again. But the only thing different this time is Tank will come with a different attitude, different personality, different motivation. And I think Roach will do good again, but I think Tank will be more dominant.
Big news, Gervonta, Tank Davis and Lamont Roach rematch set for July 2025 inches a recent episode of ESPN's First Take. Stephen A. Smith confirmed what boxing fans have been waiting to hear. The rematch between Gervonta, Tank Davis and Lamont Roach is officially happening in July 2025. This announcement ends months of rumors and builds excitement for what's shaping up to be one of the biggest fights of the year. Their first showdown took place on March 1, 2025, at Brooklyn's Barclays Center. It was a thriller that ended in a majority draw. One judge had Davis ahead, while the other two scored it even. The result left fans split, with many calling for a clear winner in a second fight. Davis, the WBA lightweight champ known for his knockout power, came into the ring as the favorite. But Roach surprised everyone with sharp technique, slick footwork, and smart counterpunching that kept Davis from taking control. The fight was close from start to finish and had boxing fans debating who really came out on top. Stephen A. Smith, who's followed both fighters closely, broke the news in his signature bold style. "I'm telling you all right now, it's locked in." He added that sources from both camps confirmed everything is set, including the location, prize money, and pay-per-view details. Get ready, this rematch promises fireworks.
You don't have enough experience. You really, really should have waited and took your time before you came to me. And that's what Gervonta Davis told him. And he was right. He was absolutely positively right. And so now here we are, him fighting this cat Roach. And I'm like, isn't this dude a like junior lightweight?
Super featherweight, moving up to lightweight. Yeah.
No, there's no, that bothers me.
Davis vs. Roach rematch to headline summer fight card in Las Vegas. Although the official posters and promos haven't dropped yet, insiders say the long-awaited rematch between Gervonta, Tank Davis and Lamont Roach will headline a packed summer fight night at the T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas this July. Both fighters are already back in training. Davis is working out of Baltimore under the eye of his longtime coach Calvin Ford, while Roach is preparing in Washington, D.C., with his father and trainer, Lamont Roach Sr. The stage is set for a blockbuster. On one side, Davis, unbeaten, explosive, and a proven knockout artist. On the other, Roach, calm, calculated, and hungry to prove himself after their razor-close draw in March. But this fight is about more than just settling a score. It could shake up the lightweight division and reshape boxing's future. Davis, already a major name with crossover appeal beyond just fight fans, sees this as his launchpad toward even bigger matchups, names like Shakur Stevenson, Devin Haney, or possibly a jump up in weight to face Teofimo Lopez. A dominant win here could solidify Davis as the top name at 135 pounds. Roach, meanwhile, views this bout as personal, a shot at redemption, legacy, and financial security for himself and his family. He's been confident ever since that first fight and didn't hold back in his post-fight interviews. "I respect Tank, he's a great fighter. But the world saw what happened. This time, I'm not letting it go to the judges. I'm bringing those belts home," Roach said back in March when rematch talks first picked up. The betting odds are already out, with Davis as the early favorite at -200 and Roach at +170. Experts are already breaking down what might change this time around. Some expect Davis to push the pace early, cutting off the ring and applying pressure to keep Roach from settling in. Others believe Roach will stick to his slick counterpunching, moving smartly and picking his shots to slow Davis down and avoid his power, adding even more excitement. Stephen A. Smith hinted the undercard could be loaded, possibly featuring rising star Keyshawn Davis and the return of hard-hitting Isaac Cruz. If those names are confirmed, fans can expect one of the most exciting fight nights in years. Promoters from PBC and Showtime Sports are reportedly leading the charge to make this a massive pay-per-view event, one that could rival some of the biggest summer boxing cards of the last decade.
The reason why that bothers me is because Gervonta is too great and too skilled to be fighting dudes smaller than him. Gervonta Davis could knock out welterweights. He probably could knock out a couple of middleweights, okay?
Davis and Roach trade shots online as Fight Buzz heats up right after the rematch announcement hit the airwaves, both Gervonta, Tank Davis and Lamont Roach jumped on social media to stir the pot. Davis posted a cryptic Instagram story showing a photo of him landing a punch on Roach during their first fight, with the caption, Part 2. I'm closing the show this time. Roach, never one to hold back, fired back on Twitter with a sharp and simple message, Summer 2025. Justice served. Fans immediately flooded Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube with comments, predictions, and highlight breakdowns. Boxing analysts also chimed in. Andre Ward called the rematch a stylistic chess match with guaranteed fireworks, while Timothy Bradley described it as the defining moment of Roach's career. All eyes are now on late summer 2025. Two elite fighters, both with something to prove, will step back into the ring carrying the weight of a controversial draw and unfinished business. Roach's performance in the first fight shocked many. He didn't just hang with the undefeated Davis, some believe he actually deserved the win. One of the most talked about moments came in round 9, when Davis appeared to go down to a knee after a clean shot from Roach. Referee Steve Willis didn't call it a knockdown, a decision that could have changed the result. Had it been scored correctly, Roach may have handed Davis his first professional loss. That missed call only added fuel to the fire leading into this rematch. Originally, the fight was rumored to be set for June 21st in Las Vegas. But as that date approaches with no official confirmation, fans have grown restless, wondering if the matchup is still on schedule. Boxing journalist Dan Rafael gave a key update in an article published April 22nd. He reported that while June 21st was initially targeted, the fight will not be happening on that date. Talks between the camps are still ongoing, and the bout is now expected to land later in the summer, most likely in July or possibly August. While the delay isn't a deal-breaker, it does mean fans will have to wait just a little longer to see who comes out on top in one of the sport's most anticipated rematches. Davis' delay, Roach's resolve, and a rematch clouded in controversy. A recent article in Ring magazine by Keith IDK has shed new light on why the rematch between Gervonta, Tank Davis and Lamont Roach is being pushed back. According to IDK, the T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas was fully reserved for June 21st, and both camps were ready to go. But after hinting at a summer showdown on social media, Davis quietly changed course. He told his team he needed more time to prepare, a decision that pushed the fight into July or possibly August. But it's not surprising Davis has control over the timeline. As one of boxing's biggest stars, he holds the leverage. But his decision to delay signals how seriously he's taking Roach this time around. Meanwhile, Lamont Roach Jr. isn't.
Tank want a rematch. Do you let me know now? Do you want to fight Tank again? He said he open to do a rematch. Do you want to fight Tank
100%.
again?
It's only a matter of time. We're gonna fight. We're gonna fight again. It's just whenever the fight gonna happen.
So it's gonna happen.
It's gonna happen.
Okay. They said they want it in New York again. Do you want to fight again in the Barclays Center?
I wouldn't mind, but I'd love for it to be in DC.
Okay.
I'd love for it to be in DC.
Davis' delay, Roach's resolve, and a rematch clouded in controversy. A recent article in Ring magazine by Keith IDK has shed new light on why the rematch between Gervonta, Tank Davis and Lamont Roach is being pushed back. According to IDK, the T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas was fully reserved for June 21st, and both camps were ready to go. But after hinting at a summer showdown on social media, Davis quietly changed course. He told his team he needed more time to prepare, a decision that pushed the fight into July or possibly August. But it's not surprising Davis has control over the timeline. As one of boxing's biggest stars, he holds the leverage. But his decision to delay signals how seriously he's taking Roach this time around. Meanwhile, Lamont Roach Jr. isn't holding back. On the All the Smoke Fight podcast, he explained that he didn't take the Davis fight for the money. In fact, he revealed he had a bigger offer on the table from another fight, but chose Davis for the opportunity to prove himself. People think I took this for the check. I didn't, Roach said. I had a higher offer. But this fight? This was about legacy. And Roach nearly made good on that decision. In their first bout, he gave Davis all he could handle, with many arguing he should have won. One of the most controversial moments came in round 9, when Roach landed a jab to Davis' eye. Davis suddenly turned away, dropped to a knee, and motioned to his corner. The referee, Steve Willis, didn't call it a knockdown. Davis later claimed hair grease had gotten into his eye, impairing his vision. I put grease on my face 2 days ago when I styled my hair, Davis explained in the post-fight interview. It dripped into my eye. But many didn't buy it. Boxing analyst Rick Glazer took to X, formerly Twitter, saying bluntly, he didn't kneel because of hair grease. He got hit clean in the eye. According to Glazer, the incident should have been ruled a knockdown, a ruling that might have changed the outcome. Instead of a 10-8 round for Roach, the judges scored it 10-9 for Davis on 2 cards. Roach has since claimed that even the New York State Athletic Commission admitted the mistake privately, but chose not to overturn the decision. They said, "Yeah, we messed up, but someone has to take the fall, and it won't be Tank," Roach recounted. Despite the drama, Davis expressed his willingness to run it back. The final scorecards, 115 to 113 for Davis and 2 draws at 114 to 114, showed how tight the fight was. And Roach, who claims to have sparred with harder punchers than Tank, walked away not only confident but hungry for justice. Speaking to Andre Ward, he recalled testing Davis's power and feeling unfazed. "I hit him with a clean shot, and he told me, 'I thought you hit harder than that.' I told him the same. I went back to my corner and said, 'I got him.'" Yet, with all signs pointing to a rematch, there's a twist. Eddie Hearn recently stirred the pot by suggesting that Davis might skip the Roach rematch altogether. According to Hearn, Tank could be gearing up for a headline-grabbing fight against Jake Paul in November instead. That revelation has frustrated fans and fighters alike, especially Shakur Stevenson, who has been angling for a shot at Davis but has struggled to get it. In an interview with Fight Hub TV, Hearn admitted, "If I don't come up with something for Shakur, that could be the end." He added, "Tank's fighting Jake Paul in November, I think. Whether he still fights Roach, I don't know." That matchup may draw headlines and big money, but not everyone's excited about it. Many boxing purists would rather see Davis square off with Roach again or finally face Stevenson. As the summer rematch date nears, Stevenson recently voiced support for Roach. Speaking to KO Artist Sports, he said, "I like Lamont in the rematch. I sparred with him, he's a real fighter." With so many moving parts, from Davis's delayed decision to the controversy around the first bout, and new rumors about future matchups, one thing's clear: boxing fans are in for a dramatic summer. Whether it's Roach, Stevenson, or Jake Paul in the other corner, all eyes are on Gervonta Davis to see who he'll face next, and whether he'll finally silence the doubts from his razor-thin draw.
Did you see the Gervonta Davis Lamont Roach fight?
Yeah, that was trash.
Well, I thought it was a good fight. You didn't think
Great fight, but I just champion guy taking a knee, talking about greasing his hair.
Yeah, that was crazy.
I'm like, yo, how you just in the middle of the fight just go wipe your face?
Also, here's the deal: if you take a knee, that's a knockdown.
That's a knockdown. It's a track 2, right?
You got hit with a jab.
Yeah.
You took a knee,
and then you walked off.
Exactly. That is a knockdown.
Yeah.
So I think they're reviewing that right now.
Nah, that guy should have lost, maybe.
Well, I feel like if they do review it and they do judge it as a knockdown, which it was clearly a knockdown to everybody.
It was a knockdown.